Hello viewers, I'm Simeon and you're watching Kharis tutorials. Today we're going to be doing the sewing of our blouse. In our last class we've done the cutting, so today we'll be doing the sewing. And for all my fabrics, we're going to cut out lining for each piece. I have for the front, the back, and also the flare, the double flare we cut out during our last class. We're going to cut out lining for each of it as well. So I've done mine. All you just need to do is place your fabric to cut out your lining, and that's all. So we're going to move to the sewing today. The first thing we're going to do, I'm going to place the lining for both the half length, the front and the back. I'm going to place the lining on it, turn the neck, I'll notch and top stitch on the lining, after which I'll turn in the sides. So whatever I do to the front, I'll repeat the same thing to the back. I'm going to turn with the lining. So let's do that now. I left some inches to turn in the shoulder of the front part of my fabric, and I continued with my joining. That's while joining the armhole, while turning the armhole with my lining, I left some inches and I used the remaining space to turn the shoulder. I brought the shoulder to the back, I used the lining to turn it, then I continued with my turning. So now we've turned the front and also we've turned the back. And the next thing for us to do is to bring out the darts. So to bring out the darts, I'm going to measure, notch the middle first. This is the middle. I've gotten the middle, so from the middle I'm going to measure 3.5. For plus size you can use 4 inches for your dart. Measure to the left and also to the right hand side to bring out your dart. Here I use 3.5. Also the length of my dart, I'm going to use 4 inches. 4 inches. I'm going to join from here to this point. The same thing on the other side. Just measure 4 inches. The same thing is going to be repeated on the back panel. This is for the darts. This is for the darts for both the front and the back. So I'm going to bring out the darts now. So we've brought out the darts now, and the next thing is to bring out the shape. To do this, we have the bust measurement to be 32, and 32 divided by 2 gives us 16 inches. And here I have 18 inches. That means we have 2 inches excess, so I'm going to share the 2 inches on both sides. On that bust measurement is 12. So I have the band measurement, and the band measurement is 26 divided by 2 will give us 13 inches. I have 15 inches altogether, so I'm going to hold 1 inch and 1 inch on the other side. So I'm going to join together now. So now we are done with the half length. We move to the flare part of our blouse. So now the flare part of our blouse, like I said, we're going to cut out the lining for the 2 steps flare. So just place your fabric to cut out the lining. And now I've divided my full flare. So I have just one, and I'm going to place the lining. I'm going to place it on it. So I'm going to join the base of the flare. I'll notch round and top stitch on the lining, and I'll do the same thing to the other step of the flare. So that's what I'm going to do now. So the same thing I did on the first flare will be repeated on the second flare. Now that we've turned the flare, I'm going to place the small flare on the big one. I'm going to place it on it and just run a straight sewing to hold it down before finally placing it on the half length of our fabric. So I'm going to get the middle. I'll start my joining from the middle. Now this is what we have, and you can trim all excess lining from the fabric. Before I'm going to attach this one to the half length, first I'm going to close the edges. I'm going to turn with lining all the 4 edges before I will attach to the half length. So let me turn down. So now we can attach this to the half length of our blouse. Make sure to weave all the necessary parts of your blouse, and also iron as you sew so you can have a neat finish. This is what we have now. And the next thing we're going to do is to fix the zip. Now we can move to fixing the sleeve, and to do that we're going to form the gathers, and after which we'll attach it to the blouse. So first, on this part of my fabric, I'm going to gather together and I'll attach to the band. The band, I'm going to add elastic to it, so I'm going to cut elastic of 8 inches. The round sleeve measurement is 10 inches, so I'm going to cut out 8 inches. It's going to stretch, remember, it's elastic, so I have 8 inches. So I'm going to fix this elastic to the band. I'm going to close the 2 ends, and the gathered part of my fabric, I'll join it to this. To the base of the sleeve, I'm going to use the 1/2 inch elastic, and the round sleeve measurement is 8 inches, so I'm going to cut out 5 inches. So I'm going to attach this to the base of my fabric. I've attached the sleeve. All you just need to do is bring the joint parts of the sleeve and also the side of the. So I've attached the sleeve. To attach the sleeve, all you just need to do is the joint parts on the sleeve and the side joining, bring them together and just run it stitch on the two fabric just to hold the sleeve down to the main dress. Now we are almost done, or should I say we are done, but I am going to attach 2 bows and also roses on my blouse. So that's what I'm going to do now and final. First I need to say sorry, I need to change my dress. I couldn't complete it. There were some things I needed to attend to, and today we're going to complete the sewing. Okay, so from our last class I was saying that I was going to join my bow just to form bow to my ready-made top, and which is going to be the last thing to do. So that's what I'm going to do now, making the bow on my blouse. and of course I have my design. You can always make any other design on your blouse, but I think this is nice. Okay for me. So we've come to the end of our sewing. And now I can do any other designs like stones or pearls. You can arrange stones on the plain material or stones on the material. And that's the end of our sewing. And remember to weave all necessary parts of your blouse. It is very, very important so as to have a neat finish. And also remember to iron your dress even as you sew. Thanks for watching Kharis tutorials. I still remain your humble girl, Simeon Praise, and I hope you enjoyed the class. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos, and you can follow us on Facebook and on Instagram at Africa TV. And don't forget, you can also follow me on Facebook and on Instagram at Kharis Kreations. Till I see you next class. Stay cool.